Hello everyone, welcome back to a new Transformers toy review. I'm Autocon and this is Transformers Studio Series Constructicon Hook. Now, right off the bat, this guy looks really nice. I do love the green, like I've said before on all the Constructicons so far. This green looks really nice. I really love this type of green. This figure is from that 2-pack Studio Series with Long Haul. In case you don't know, this is a 2-pack, but I did these videos separately because they have different. I've been comparing them with the Combiner Wars, which is the oldest release that we've gotten officially by Hasbro from the Constructicons. Now, first, let's look at the figure. He does come with a weapon, which is this one. He does look pretty cool, I guess. It's pretty plain, black piece, you know, with some minor detail and stuff like that. There we go. Look at that. It looks pretty cool. In the cartoon, their weapons were mostly one plain color, so this doesn't really bug me. It does look interesting. I do like it. But let's put the gun to the side. Now, when we get closer to the figure looks really nice. I do love that head sculpt. The head sculpt looks really nice. I really dig it. The red visor looks really nice. The little purple right here, all that stuff. I think it's just it's not like a sticker or anything. It's like painted there, but you can tell it's just the white lines, like the purple is in the back there and it's just the white lines. It's like silver right here for the Decepticon symbol, so it looks really nice. That green looks nice, and we get down with some nice dark silver, and then this is like a little more metallic silver, and then this is like more. This is like gray, and this is like more metallic paint job right here. So it's kind of interesting to see what they did here with some paint. I would have liked if they kept it metallic and then metallic, or at least all of this one color. There's no need for like various different colors. And then we go to the back. The back looks really nice. One thing that I do love is that this can extend. Not the best, but it's fine. I'll take it. Combiner Wars couldn't extend the hook from hook. So this is pretty good. For articulation, it's not the best articulation that you can hope for a combiner, not a combiner. Well, especially this guy. He does have some improvements from the Combiner Wars though. For example, this piece can move by itself, so they can get off the way if you wanted to. So I'll show you in the articulation. So first of all, the head sculpt is on a ball joint, so you can look anywhere. You can do that. Set it left and right. You can look up and down. No 360. Kind of like gets stopped there with these pieces on the sides, right there. But he does have some pretty good movement. So for the shoulders are interesting. Let me show you why. So the shoulder can kind of move a 360, so you got to lift that up, and it can go up more, and it can go out that much. So, almost got stuck there. So it can go out that much. It can go front that much. It could almost do 360 if it wasn't from the backpack from the whole Constructicon. So it's kind of cool. At the same time, it's kind of annoying because you can't really have him move his arms behind, but you don't really need to because there's not that crazy poses that you want to get with this guy. So mostly Constructicons are for Devastator, and you want to keep them as Devastator or robot or car modes. I don't really know anybody that really prefers him in robots by themselves, but it's pretty cool that they did that, because in the Combiner Wars it gets in the way and there's no movement here, so your limitations for arms are just kind of like that, and then like that for the Combiner Wars. Now for the we do get a rotation swivel right here on the arm, so it's pretty cool that we get that. And we do have some bend on the elbow right here, and then with the rotation, and then you have some movement here, which is minor, but that's mostly for combining mode, not for the car mode. Same thing here on the other side, do the same, bend and swivel. So it's pretty simple, but I do like this new feature that he did, because it allows the movement to just be better on the thing, so you can kind of have it a little more like that, and then just kind of bring it down. you allow better movement. So I thought that was really cool. Now his legs can go out that much, and the legs can go back that much. Now for the outside, it'll go out that much, and we just kind of gotta move this. So he can do that, which is pretty good. I really love that. This is really, really, really good. And then he does have some ankle tilted a little bit. So it's just that much. You can go more, but it really gets in the way right here with the whole thing that the feet is kind of built. So see how I can go? But then it'll push this piece to the side. So we bring this back down. There we go. So let me show that better. So it just kind of puts pressure, I believe, on the whole plastic here, where it kind of like pulls it back. But I guess he can do the whole ankle tilted on the side, but you don't really need that. These pieces also move a little bit to the front, so you can do some pretty nice poses, like, I don't know, like this, and then just kind of have his foot, like his feet like that, and then like stuff like that. So that pretty works right there. Right there, that's pretty good. Solid ankle movements and feet movements and like all of this right here. Now you can take this piece off, which I think is pretty cool, because then you can have him just like that. I do believe you can put it on his hand. Yep, looks like you can. Well, you can honestly just put him here, or does it have, oh yeah, let's put it on this side. You can do this, honestly. It's a little heavy, but hey, it's something we could do. I'll take it. So I do like you can take it off if it gets in the way a little bit for you. It does kind of destroy the whole purpose of Hook, because I believe he's like that. But yeah, now let's do some comparison with the Combiner Wars. Here's what I'm gonna show that I was talking about. He is a little bit bigger. First of all, he is a little bigger, but like I said before, this whole section right here is like, you can't do anything about it. Compare here, you can just raise these up. So this is what I'm saying that I like, because when you move the shoulders, that's all it does. It can still go, but you have to lift the whole section up to get that really nice raise up on the arm, which is kind of exactly, the molds are kind of exactly the same. You can see how this whole thing is a backpack, and then when you transform it, this is one separate piece too. The arms look a little identical. They're like based off of this guy, so you have the same stuff here. So we got that bend on the elbow right there as well, and then we also have a swivel on the forearm for some reason. But this bend right here is a little weird. It just looks a little weird. But you do have that arm that goes in and stuff like that. And then compare on the new one, the swivel is on the second wheel, which is pretty interesting, considering that they considered maybe this the whole shoulder or bicep, and then this is just the whole forearm section. So I mean, it's kind of cool, you know. For the head, I think it's on the same position as this one, but it's more wobbly, so it can do the 360. But overall, it's still the same thing. For the legs, they can go out that much, and they can go back that much. They can go outwards that much. And see how, like, I tried extending it, and it doesn't go that much, so I guess they did some differences here, but realistically, it's kind of still the same figure. Right here for the back, they do look a little bit the same. There is some minor stuff detail on this guy, obviously, because this one's more based off the cartoon and this was more based I want to say comic books and stuff, so that's why there's some differences on the molding of the cars, but essentially they're based off the same cartoon artwork, if that makes sense. So this is more cartoon accuracy, and this is more like maybe comics or own design, if that makes sense, but they're the same character. I do love the whole detail on these guys in the front. How you see the whole paint, and then there's no paint here. Again, like I said, this is more cartoon accurate, and this is more toy accurate. This is the Combiner Wars Where's Your Knight, so that's why mine's painted like that. So yeah. I do have some complaints about the legs. The legs here are kind of like, I do like how there's this piece now that it covers, protects the whole hollowness of this piece. But there's this part that I don't like. So let me show you on the Combiner Wars. So the Combiner Wars, in order for you to clip in this leg, there's two semi-clips. So first, you have this peg right here that will clip into that one, which is just kind of a little push to the side, and then boom, clips in, right? And then we have this other one right here, this tab, well, that hole right there, which will tab right there. You kind of gotta like, oh wait, actually I'm lying. That does not tab there, or does it? Well, essentially this piece, this tab right here, doesn't really peg anywhere, but what it does is it holds the leg put right there. So there's no like, you know, it's like really sticked in there nice and firm, unless you really do a hard job on it. But other than that, it's actually, it doesn't go up to the front, only this piece, but whatever. Right now, when we get to the new Studio Series, which is my complaint, there's no like piece holding it. In reality, it's maybe this little piece right here, but there's no, this piece looks like it will peg there, but it doesn't peg anywhere. It's just there, you know, and there's no like back pieces pegging right here. It's just like that. So if you can, that's the only part that I really dislike about this figure. I keep wondering why they avoided that piece, or why they didn't do something like that, because then your toes and like this whole section right here is just gonna do that when you're like playing with it, or you know, it's just a little annoying. It holds good, it's not loose, but I just like that more tightness and firm, more secure pieces on the figure. So it is what it is. Now for transformation is very simple. It's almost the same as the other one. I will compare the transformations. So here is Hook Studio Series transformation. We don't have to do anything with the arms, first of all. The hands right here, they don't really go inside or anything like that. I tried it and it doesn't work out because there's some certain pegs and stuff like that. So first we're gonna lift that up, and then just like Combiner Wars, this whole thing is a backpack, and then we just kind of unpeg it because it's pegged down. So then we're just gonna make sure the arms are straight. They're already straight, so we just gotta tuck this in, and they do peg right here on the side. Here's arms, peg them, peg that one, make sure it's pegged right here, peg this piece right here with the pegs. And then we bring this whole section down, and there's some little tiny pegs that will peg to the backpack right there. You can barely see them, so you just gotta just bring this whole section down, and then you can just bring this in right here, which is pretty nice. I don't mind the space right here. It works. This whole thing works for me. I really do like it, because then you have that movement where you can just move this up and just kind of like that, you know. So I think that was pretty cool that they did that. So you just gotta raise this up and just move this to the left side. It has to be like that for robot mode, but then you just got to move it for vehicle mode. You just move it to the left. The only thing that it does allow you is just so you can just peg this, bring this whole section up, and then it'll clip in there to cover this, but you can still kind of see it. So we just bring it back to the left, just like that. Same thing on Combiner Wars, but I feel like this is a lot easier compared to Combiner Wars. So, and plus it allows you to have this whole section in the middle instead of just having his whole hook right there to one side only. See how it's more going towards the left side of Hook? Yeah. So that's why they did that. Now for the legs just clip out like that. Just clip out like that. And then we're just gonna raise this hook right here. And we're just gonna bring these up. They're like on double hinges. Bring this up. Bring this other double hinge up. kind of peg these together right here, and then just kind of, to assure that you got them right, you just kind of gotta like push them in there. Just push right here, that's what I do, and then just kind of start bringing this sections up. And then, like I said before earlier, you would think that these pegs would peg in the feet, these would peg right with these pieces, but no, they're just for you to just peg the toes right here in the back, just like that. That's what they mainly are. So now you can just bring this, and then you just kind of pull out the little fist a little bit, just for clearance. Bring this in, then pull out the fist, and then just kind of like that. And essentially, that's Hook right there. That is his car mode. Obviously, he has this little movement, which is pretty cool because Combiner Wars did not have it. Even Where's Your Knight, but now you have. I wish it would extend more, to be honest, but we finally got an extending Hook, so so I'll take it. He does have some good rotation on it, pretty good. You can go up and down, so it is really nice. This is really nice. I do like it. Now we'll bring here Combiner Wars. And here's Combiner Wars transformed. Like I said earlier, it's the same process. Essentially, it's the same process. This was like, it's the same process for them on the feet and then the arms. Just some minor differences and some minor retooling. But overall, it's still the same thing. There's not a big difference. It is pretty cool that we finally got a new Combiner Wars Devastator. I mean, not Combiner Wars. Well, yeah. And then we got the Studio Series one, which is pretty good so far. I do like it. I know a lot of people didn't like it because of the whole backpack, but it's kind of cartoon accurate. Unless you want to get those third-party figures, you know, I'm sure there'll be an upgrade kit or something that will get rid of that backpack on the back or something like that. But overall, it still looks good in my opinion. I will be getting Scavenger soon. These guys look great together. Obviously, the scale is amazing, considering that these are more not downgraded, but they're more like shrunk inside, so they're smaller. And obviously the Devastator is a lot smaller. It should be around the same size as the new combiners like Superion and Menasor. So I do like the scaling that they're all the same, because Devastator was like super huge compared to those Combiner War figures. And I don't know, I am excited for Devastator. That's all I'm trying to say. I do recommend that you guys get this guy. Big Bad Toy Store, they have it available, I think. Target had it at some point. Amazon has it, and I doubt Hasbro pulls right now. But I know I've seen it, a lot of people selling it for like $200, which is crazy. So, yeah. overall, I don't think this character is mainly an upgrade. I think he was just kind of minor retooling and stuff. I don't think he's really an upgrade. The only ones so far I think are an upgrade is Bone Crusher and Long Haul so far. Other than that, the other figures, which is Scrapper and Hook, they're exactly the same figure with just some minor differences on the figure, which kind of disappoints me. But at the same time, the whole structure of them is kind of, it has to kind of be the same because they're based off the same character. And the whole structure, it has to be the same for it to actually be that character, if that makes sense. But I would have wished it was different retooling. Like I wish they would have kept the whole structure right here on the legs, just so it would not like be really loose right here. I do like the arms part and then the shoulder part, so that part was an upgrade, you would say. And then the whole transformation with Devastator is a little different, which I'll show when I have all of them. So that's another retooling that they did for it. The whole way this guy turns into Devastator's chest, or the top part, is completely a little different than this guy. There's some minor differences. Like the whole process is the same, obviously, because that's how he is. But there's some minor differences on the figure, which I thought were pretty interesting. But overall, the figure is great. Sadly, it's a 2-pack, so kind of sucks. But most likely we'll get a freaking 6-pack sooner in like 3 years or something. Generation Selects, and it's gonna be the Tonkinator or something like that. So I don't know. If you've been collecting Devastator, or if you're just going to the store, and I know there's people that are just hunting it. If they see it, they'll take it. Good luck with that. I like Devastator. I only have 2, which is the Combiner Wars and this one that's coming out. So I'm excited. Please like and subscribe, and please turn on your notifications so you can get a notification when I post videos. I try to post them as the figures come out and I receive the new figures. So please like and subscribe, and thank you.